wabarakatuh. In this video, we will give some explanation about the different attitude in education between American and Indonesia. First, about diversity in education. In Indonesia, generally teaching method and curriculum in school or universities are same each other. Government has been decided teaching method and curriculum which have to use by all of teachers in every school and universities. It usually changes after a year or more than. Indonesian educational system, particularly high school, has distinctive feature, namely majors. In America, teaching methods and curriculum is diverse. Classroom has expansive atmosphere, especially the private university. There is considerable variety in classroom for each university in the United States. No two courses are identical. It is because teaching methods and curriculum are different. There are considerable differences between undergraduate and graduate courses. In the classroom is expensive for its atmosphere. Private universities may differ from that in community college. About quality, there may be a little difference, but not too significant. Next is about active participation. In America, active participant while teacher a passive role. Participation in the classroom is not only accepted but also expected of the student in many courses. Some professors base part of the final grade on the students' oral participation, although there are formal lectures during which the student has a passive role. Many courses are organized around classroom discussion, student questions, and informal lectures. In Indonesia, student is a good listener, but bad participant in discussion. When there is a group assessment, just few of them do it, the other just rely on them. For example, they make presentation and discussion. They divide it into some groups which have to have had the material of their subject, but just a few of they can do it. Last is not using a chance to asking question when the teacher given it. Moreover, if the teacher does not write their name in the paper when they ask him or comment, they just want to use the chance if the teacher will give good score to them.
Teacher and student relationship in United States. The first is the teacher are respected by student. Many instructors believe that an informal, relaxed classroom environment is conducive to learning and innovation. The casual professors are not necessarily a pure one and still respected by student. Although students may be in a subordinate position, some professors treat them as equals. The second, in class, teachers have several rules in relation to the student. Professor may establish social relationship with students outside of the classroom, but in the classroom, they maintain the structure's rule. They have several rules in relation to students. Next, in Indonesia, the first is sometimes the students also do not obey the teacher's rules. There are many schools or universities in Indonesia. It means almost of society are teacher and student. They usually have some place, but they have different work relationship between them should good, but some students have bad things that they do to their teachers. The second is teacher and student only make a relationship which relates about subject and academic in school. Teacher and student have to make a relationship not only in the classroom, but also out of the classroom. When in the classroom, teacher will explain about the subject and the student accept it as knowledge for them. The last is less appreciate to their teacher. Besides that, the student also less appreciate to their teacher.
The third is independent learning. Independent learning is a method or learning process where learners have ownership and control of their learning. They learn by their own actions and direct, regulate, and assess their own learning. The independent learner is able to set goals, make choices and decisions about how to meet his learning needs, take responsibility for constructing and carrying out his own learning, monitor his progress towards achieving his learning goals, and self-assesses the learning outcomes. According to Mayer et al., the concept of independent learning is associated with or a part of other educational concepts and wider policy agendas, such as improving the educational experiences and outcomes for learners through student-centered learning approaches that personalize learning and enable the learner to take ownership of the learning process. And independent learning between the United States and Indonesia is: in United States, the teacher prefer that their student not be overly dependent on them, and the students are considered to be one who is motivated to learn for the sake of learning. And in Indonesia, when the teacher or lecturer give an assignment to them, some students try to done it with cheat to their friends, and the student in Indonesia is less reading book, and the teacher less attention or care to their students in learning independent, and the students also less attention to increase their knowledge. That's all the independent learning between the United States and Indonesia.
The honor system. The strength of the honor system is in the creation of an atmosphere in which students can act with individual responsibility. This include the personal decision to act honorably and to not tolerate others who choose to violate the condition of the honor system. Primarily, the function of the honor system is to educate and instill the common purpose within the campus student community. The honor system is an educational tool to assist the process of teaching morality and ethics. The honor system helps create an environment that will assist the development of the whole person by insisting upon honorable traits and behavior. In Indonesia, the honor system is usually something that doesn't have strictly enforced rules to teach its students. In Indonesian, it has meaning for each teacher or students. Honor system is usually made in the first meeting lecturer and students. It makes us agree and disagree between them. In the United States, the honor system imposed by the teachers and the university demands that the student be honest in the area of the schoolwork. Many students are also aware that they can jeopardize their rapport with fellow students if they are dishonest. Students who cheat may lose the respect of the other students, particularly these who study for exams and work independently.
Competition in United States. Relationship between students in the classroom can be cooperative or competitive. Therefore, in classes where such a grading curve is used, students may be tend to share lecture notes or information for free that their own grades will suffer. Another reason for the presence of competition among students. A high grade point average is needed for entrance to superior graduate schools. Students feel pressure to achieve high grade when there are relatively few openings in graduate programs. Ultimately, it is the students who are responsible for succeeding in this competitive system. And in Indonesian, the point collectivistic, students tend to be silent if they have a question. Students may share lecture notes or information, and a high grade point is less important. In Indonesia, the point is collectivistic. Students tend to be silent if they have a question. Students may share lecture notes or information, and a high grade point is less important. And in Indonesian, relationship between students in the classroom tend to bandwagon. Indonesian students also should be able cooperative or competitive, but almost of them just want to graduate earlier than others. They do not care the quality of their education. Thus, the real competition in job is not only have graduated, but also has real competence in their self. However, the education in Indonesia has made this rule, but there are still not has good quality which get good job.